And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Coatings Talk. This evening, I wanted to cover conversations that came out of a recent Coatings Talk Insight article, which really gained a lot of big momentum. But before I talk about that article, I wanted to recognize that there's a global celebration today, which is International Women in Engineering Day. This is a day that's dedicated to recognizing the women whose expertise, their leadership, and determination have strengthened the engineering world, and importantly, for all of us, the protective coatings and corrosion industries. In our field, engineering isn't an abstract. It's not theoretical. It's the backbone of asset integrity, infrastructure reliability, and public safety. Across the world, women engineers are driving that mission forward. They're on job sites, they're in laboratories, they're running inspection programs, they're in design offices, they're in manufacturing, and they're also in boardrooms as well. There are coating formulators that are pushing the boundaries of performance. There are corrosion engineers that are solving problems and protecting critical assets. There are inspectors that are ensuring quality, safety, and compliance. And there are researchers that are advancing material science. And there are project managers that are coordinating complex industrial work. And there are leaders that are shaping the future of our industry. So when, a lot of things when you look at the environments, that have been really built, might not always really in the past had them in mind, yet women continue to excel, innovate, and elevate the standard for all of us. So International Women in Engineering Day is not just a celebration. It's a reminder. It's a reminder that women play a big role in strengthening engineering outcomes. A reminder that talent is universal, but opportunity isn't. And it's a reminder that the protective coatings and corrosion industries, our futures, are resilient in innovation, also in workforce development, and more is really needed to create pathways where women can thrive, lead, and shape what comes next. In the protective coatings and corrosion control, the challenges are real. We have aging infrastructure, we have evolving materials, new technologies, and increasing expectations for higher levels of safety and sustainability. So meeting those challenges requires every capable mind at the table. And today we honor women who are already there and the next generation who are preparing to join them. So what I want to talk about is an article that I published on June 15th through Coatings Talk Insight. And that article was titled "The Competency Crisis, where industrial painters, inspectors, and coatings professionals are becoming harder to find and even harder to keep." And the responses to that, the comments, all wonderful comments. And I kind of said, hey, listen, tell me where I'm wrong, tell me where I'm right. I wanted to have everyone give me their honest opinion of what's going on out there, especially related to competency within the protective coatings industry. There were over 40 comments that were posted, and it was very well read. Over 8,000 people read the article, and a lot of people shared and reposted the article itself. From that, yesterday I posted a poll because I wanted to kind of explore a little bit more related to competency. And in that, I asked a question in the poll. What do you believe is the biggest driver of the competency crisis in today's protective coatings workforce? And I had 4 options. The first is lack of hands-on training. The second was inexperienced inspectors. And number 3 was skilled worker shortages. And the last selection was high expectation, low skills. The top 2 performers in that poll, very well taken poll as well. Nearly 40% of respondents singled out skilled worker shortages. And roughly 30% said high expectation, low skills. So I want to talk about these poll results because they make something very clear. The protective coatings industry isn't just dealing with a labor shortage. It's really dealing with a skilled labor shortage. As I mentioned, nearly 40% of respondents pointed directly to this issue, and they're right. The pipeline of trained industrial painters has been shrinking for years. We have aging certified industrial painters who are accelerating their departure out of the skilled trade. We have fewer younger workers that are entering into the trades and staying to become experienced and also certified. And traditional mentorship pathways that once transferred craft knowledge have eroded. Gil Rogers posted a great comment talking about in Germany where mentorship is a strong element of industrial craft workers. And that translates also on the industrial painting side as well. So mentorship is an important thing, and I'm going to definitely do more speaking to mentorship and also exploring mentorship opportunities related to skilled trades. So, looking at this, what we're finding ourselves in, that contractors really are competing for the same limited shrinking pool of the workers, craft workers. They're younger, they're greener, and they're often thrust into complex work long before they're really ready. And this isn't a failure of effort. It's a structural workforce problem that's been building for more than a decade. Some would point out probably 2 decades. But the second largest poll response, as I said, nearly 30%, was high expectations, low skills. This really exposed an equally important truth that today's owners, the engineers writing projects or specifications and work, also asset managers are out there. They're really expecting a higher quality outcome. They have tight schedules for projects to get done, and they expect flawless documentation, which is also leading to digital documentation these days. Yet the workforce they rely on, it really is lacking the foundational skills to always meet these expectations. So the industry has raised the bar on compliance, safety, and performance expectations, but really has the protective coatings industry invested proportionally in the training, the competency development, and field-ready education and mentorship. So the result is a widening gap between what work requires and what the workforce is prepared to deliver. There's a big gap in that area. And this is where the competency crisis becomes most visible. At this point in time, we're not talking about catastrophic failures of key assets, but the industry is seeing increased rework, delays in projects, inconsistent quality, and the growing frustration that's felt across job sites and also asset protection programs. So the expectations aren't unreasonable, but the craft worker skills pipeline simply hasn't kept pace. So I'm going to continue exploring this topic because it's important that we all have this conversation because it's such a big impact. It's an opportunity, and what we're doing today isn't really meeting that expectation that's out there. Next, I want to talk a little bit about CTA. So the Corrosion Technicians Association. The CTA is doing extremely well. The sky's the limit, growth like you wouldn't believe. There's a lot of great opportunity with the CTA, and I'm very proud to be a founding member, but also now going to be serving on the Coatings Committee. We're going to have our first inaugural meeting this week, and I'm real excited with the members on the Coatings Committee. But I want to also stress to everyone out there that the CTA needs members. It needs sponsors. It needs participation by both the coatings and the corrosion industries. There's a great opportunity with the CTA when it comes to doing additional trainings for anything from craft workers, inspectors, corrosion technicians. In fact, the CTA has launched the rectifier training, rectifier technician certification. So please support the CTA. You can go to corrosiontech.org, corrosiontech.org. An upcoming event that I want to also mention is the Gulf Coast Corrosion Expo. This is going to be a really great expo coming up in August. We'll be in August before you know it. We're almost into July. But it runs on Wednesday, August 5th, and Thursday, August 6th. It's a petroleum club in Lafayette, Louisiana. So it's 2 days of hands-on learning. There is the rectifier certification that you can take. There's going to be tech talks. I posted on Monday the lineup for the tech talks, so you can go back and take a look, get information on the tech talks. They're going to be wonderful. And you can also earn PDHs. So if you are looking for continuing education credits, this is a great opportunity for you. So there's going to be multiple tracks. The first track is a corrosion protection and AC mitigation track, which is going to cover a lot of great important topics out there that are really relevant to the industry today on the corrosion side and cathodic protection. The protective coatings track, also a wonderful track to be participating in. And then an internal corrosion track as well. And like I said, please visit corrosiontech.org, corrosiontech.org. Got a couple people here who posted something, so we got some names here. There we go. All right. But what I wanted to do is just get on here and talk a little bit about competency and talk about the article that I published. Like I say, my intention was not to anger anybody, and it didn't appear that the article did, but I wanted to have that conversation. I think it's important that we talk about where we're at right now, both on the protective coating side, but also on the corrosion side when it comes to, what's the future workforce look like? Where are we going to find those in the next generation that are going to step up to take over the roles that will be exiting one day? So that being said, I want to just say I appreciate everyone liking and sharing the articles, the content, supporting the live stream both on LinkedIn and also on the YouTube channel for Coatings Talk. And if you do have any topics that you want me to cover, please just feel free to send me a message. You can email me at jim@jimkunkel.com, or you can drop me a message through either YouTube or through LinkedIn. So, all right, everybody, have a good rest of your evening, your night, or morning, no matter where in the world you're watching this live stream.